All right, just knocking the dust off because we took a week off.
Yeah.
Feels good.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
No.
Yes.
But
Oh,
here we go.
Yes, sir.
Why is he always the positive one and you're always the one that's like,
Because I
don't
need
want
to get the negativity out so then I can just be positive on camera.
So next time I'll bring donuts, gluten-free donuts.
Maybe we should start with gluten-free stuff. Then
Yeah.
you'll cheer me up.
I think that would be awesome.
All right, cool.
I can't keep this all to myself. I got all you need and I'm sharing the wealth. Talking it up, who should I tell? Like, blah, 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 blah. I can't keep this all to myself.
What's up, everybody? My name's Jason,
I am Hilda.
I'm Nathan.
and together we are EO7 Media, and this is the pitch session. Once a week, we like to sit down and bring a brand to life where we learn all about their branding identity and their marketing needs. And then we go through an hour-long session where we talk about photo, video, and marketing. We dedicate 15 minutes of the show to learning all about the brand, 15 minutes to pitching photos, 15 minutes to pitching videos, and 15 minutes to how to market said photos and videos. This week, we are diving into a local Catholic private school called St. Catherine Laboure School. Guys ready to jump in?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's dive in.
Awesome. All right, well then I'll
Start
start
the
timer.
clock.
So the first section.
All right, so let's discuss this school. Megan reached out to us through our forums and she filled all this out. So we're going to go through all of her information and then we're going to go ahead and look at their socials and their websites. Guys, please feel free to jump in at any time as we go through this. So this is a brick and mortar location, meaning that they are a centralized single location. They're not trying to teach online to other avenues, things like that. And that also means that they're a small community-based school. They're not trying to outreach to like other states.
Gotcha.
So that's something we have to keep in mind when we think about the marketing aspects. Their goals right now, their goals are to boost enrollment. How do they bring more students in to become students of their school? Really quick, their brand beliefs. The brand beliefs are scholastic achievement, Catholic values, lifelong learning, diversity, and small but strong community. So let's talk about that really quick. What does that mean? What does a scholastic achievement mean?
Success in test taking, achievement, overall learning, just, smarter children overall, I think.
It looks like they want to set themselves as a place where you can give your child maybe something greater than just the lowest common denominator public school education, like a higher...
Public school education is not always low,
Of course,
FYI.
I don't want to
Yeah,
actually
true,
suggest
true,
that.
true.
Because I mentioned to you guys that my public school was pretty good. But yeah, I definitely shouldn't say, dismiss it because I went to a public school. But
We
all did, yes.
We all went to public school.
a higher level of education maybe than what is generally
more
given.
focused and more attention driven, more maybe religion driven as well.
I mean, that is one of their core values,
Yeah.
is the Catholic values. But they did say in here that anyone is welcome as long as they respect their values.
I love that.
And I love that too. And you said this in the pre-show that was one of the very first things that caught your attention.
Yes.
Was that they are that welcoming.
Yes.
Which again, just by having that mindset goes back to the diversity factor.
Yes.
Which I think diversity, they say it's one of their brand beliefs, but like really, I think what it comes down to is academics, and diversity.
Okay.
And by welcoming anyone who wants to learn, then you're fostering education for everybody.
Yes.
Which is a really beautiful thing. You're not saying, well, you can't come in here
Yes.
because of your demographics.
Yes.
I
do. It's a little sidebar. When I drive through my neighborhood and I see churches that say all are welcome, that makes me so happy.
Same. Very
makes
much
me so
same.
happy. Yeah.
I'm not religious. I don't practice any religion. But knowing that groups are out there welcoming anyone like that with open arms, that's a huge marketing beautiful thing. Like not only does it make me feel good, but that's like hey, we do want you in here.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that screams a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they're really, though, they're providing both traditional values where if you are a religious person, if you're a Catholic,
you can provide
this gives you those
Hmm.
that base, but they also want to open that up to people outside of.
And I wonder if they're actually unique because of this, because I didn't even think of it till now. How many Catholic schools are there that they don't advertise that they're open to everyone? And
That's a good question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Granted, I have not done the research on that. I did work at a Catholic private high school
Okay.
As a athletics coach,
Mm-hmm.
but I had nothing to do with like a lot of their marketing. I worked on with them with their videos,
Right.
but not their actual marketing of them. So I think that's a really, really strong idea. Is
Mm-hmm.
how like can you open yourself up to different ideals,
Yeah.
different backgrounds, and say, hey, all are welcome. So maybe that does say that they are more unique in that aspect. So maybe leaning more on that diversity part can really push that out. But when it comes down to it, guys, I mean, we're going to talk about this in a second. End all be all, especially for a school, the grades and where you go from then on is probably the most important factor.
Yeah.
So let's get into that. What sets them apart, which we just talked about, was their diversity and their education in smaller, more personal settings. So I'm guessing they don't have tons of kids like
Yeah.
in a classroom
Yeah.
to like annoy a teacher enough.
yeah,
So,
like not 40 plus per teacher.
right,
Yeah.
right. So let's talk about their avatar really quick, which I think I'm kind of leading into.
Yeah.
Megan writes down that their avatar is students ages 3 through 14
Mm-hmm.
and the parents of.
Okay.
However, something we talked about
Yeah.
before the show.
So
Hilda,
do you
take us
want
away.
to, why don't you explain the definition of an avatar
Yes.
is?
A brand avatar is basically what it boils down to is your ideal client, your ideal customer. And what you should do when you are branding a brand avatar is give them a name, give them an identity. You have to give them a sex, give them a job, give them an age range, like what they do for fun in their own spare time. So the more you know who your avatar is, the more you can better market to them.
Right.
And it doesn't mean you're only marketing to just that one person.
And when I read that, I was a little bit surprised because their avatar should be a mom/parent.
Why?
Because kids are not making decisions on where they're going to school at that age.
Good point.
Even high school kids, I wonder if they have any say so. But especially age 3 through 14,
yeah.
they're definitely not. When I was making decisions for my kids, I didn't say, which school do you prefer? What kindergarten you want to go to? I'm like, what can I afford? What's good? What's close?
Okay.
Which moms do I know that take their kids to this school or that? So
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're definitely marketing to moms/parents who are making the financial decisions and about where their kids go to
Yeah,
school.
but that's interesting. When you said the factors that you were looking at when you were picking a school, you weren't looking for a place that had traditional Catholic values and
True.
diversity and high standards
True.
of scholastic achievement. My point being, this is what we also want to add to the avatar.
That is
list.
correct.
Right.
We want women who are looking for those things in a school
That
for
is
their
correct.
kids. So
That
adds more depth
Okay,
to the,
good point.
the avatar we're trying
So we need to
target.
figure out where to find that said woman.
So, and like we said in the pre-show when we were taking notes, we're not just advertising toward women in general because we
Yes.
don't want to cut out same-sex marriages.
No.
We don't want to cut out fathers. We
This
don't want to cut out
applies
anything
to
like
dads.
that. This accounts
Yeah.
to everything. But when you are creating that avatar, you want to create the avatar as detailed as possible. And you don't have to be gender specific with your marketing,
Right.
but it does help you kind of focus on
Right.
how to go about this.
Actually, a question just popped in my mind. Obviously, they have a church. I wonder what percentage of the people who have kids that go to that church are also enrolling their children in that school, because that would be the ideal place to find more people.
I mean, that's basically, that's, giving away bread
Yes.
at the bakery that
Yes.
you're wanting to
Because
sell
if it's
at,
only
yeah.
50%, I would question, why is it only 50%?
That's
What
a
are you
huge
doing
factor.
wrong?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think going into the demographics of that,
Yep.
finding that out, I think would be very,
Yep.
very interesting.
Yep.
We probably have to talk to them if we wanted to figure that
Well,
out.
Yeah.
that's
further.
not even our realm.
No.
not.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how they can make videos and photos.
Yes.
To get more people in.
Yes.
So hopefully not only for the school, but then trickling down into the church.
But
community as well.
we could also remind me to. Yeah, I'll I'll touch on the photos later. Okay.
Okay, I was going
I'm
to say,
jumping ahead. Yeah, sorry.
don't jump ahead too far.
Sorry.
So let's dive into their online presence.
Okay.
We are going to be focusing and looking at their website, their Instagram, their Facebook, and LinkedIn. They said was one they're working on. They're missing TikTok, YouTube, and they said they're missing Google Business, but we did find reviews
Yes.
online.
So I don't know if they're missing Google Business as much as whoever filled that out might not be aware that there already is a Google Business there.
There is a Google Business
Yes,
for them.
and I saw that they have pretty good reviews. They also have photos, so they could be updating the photos as well on Google Business.
And
yeah.
we'll get to that
Yeah.
in a second. But so they do have a Google Business, which I think is absolutely vital for any business,
Yes.
any realm that
because
you're
it's
in.
free.
It's free, and that's SEO.
Yes.
So they have a website. Let's discuss their website real quick without any additional information. Let's just discuss what we found.
When
and
I
I'm going to
Googled
record this.
When I Googled their name in Glenview and I typed it in, I landed on the church website, which made me a little bit confused because I was looking for a school. So I had to click around on their menu to find the school, which I think is a big no-no because you want to make it as easy as possible. However, when I finally landed on their website, I like their landing page. I like the colors. It was very bright. It was like fresh. I like the kids smiling. I like that the kids have the same type of color to kind of go along with
Feel
the...
free to scroll through that, and
Okay.
we'll show this on the
Yeah.
screen.
Like the kids' shirts match the background and stuff like that. And I like that they have information.
They're brand aware.
Yes,
they're
they're
using
very
the
brand-
right
yes,
reds.
that
They're
is
using the right
correct.
like tone throughout the whole thing. There's a hierarchy.
Yes,
for
and
the
I like
website.
the bullet points on the homepage.
Nice and simple.
Whereas like the other pages don't have that many breaks and
Right.
paragraphs, which was a little bit like too much to go through. So I do like their landing page once you get there. I think it's very appealing. So yeah,
So we
I
like
like their
the
website.
website.
Yeah,
once
we like the way
once
it's
I
organized.
get past the whole going through the church to get to their
The website's
school.
pretty clean. It has
Mm-hmm.
great information, and at the bottom it has links to their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And there was one observation about the video, though. You guys didn't like that.
There was a video on here.
Yeah.
Here it says
There's
they
a-
watched the SCL overview video, and it does this.
Yeah.
It loads, but no video loads. It's
Mm-hmm.
a static screen that nothing comes up with.
Yeah,
So
which
it's
can be
not-
frustrating to viewers.
It's
Yeah.
not, that part is not optimized for mobile.
That
I'm sure
part-
I imagine it works on a desktop. but
I'm
not
I'm
on
going to
phone.
test it after this to see if it does.
Mm-hmm.
But really, what's the rule of thumb? What, like 90% of people, if they're
Yep.
doing research, they're doing it on their phones.
Yep, that is correct.
So it needs to be optimized for
Mm-hmm.
that. Let's talk about their Instagram real quick. Their Instagram, they have one more follower. That's us, by the way. 251 followers, 445 posts, 669 following. On their description, on their bio up here, it does have a link to their website, and it has a link to their physical location. It has a nice little blurb, which is really nice, looks really clean. Their branded logo looks good. Here is the issue that we find. There's a lot of text-based posts and hyper amounts of color.
Whereas Instagram should be more about the photos, less about the text, I think.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Because, I mean, people want to look at pictures on Instagram. It's
How-
on
yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah. I think a lot of that stuff is somewhat promotional, right? Like,
Yes, most of it is. When you get to something, there's here's supplies, here's where to go to get glue, here's happy
Yeah.
birthday.
So I think this is their Instagram is already for parents whose children go to the school already. It's not for
That's what it
any
is.
potential new clients.
it feels very much like here's the information you should know
Yes.
as a parent.
Yes.
Instead of as someone who is maybe looking to
Yeah.
send your kid
Which is
here.
fine, but maybe alternated. Maybe do like one. Here's info for the parents, and then here's what you can do to find out more.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
that in the fourth section.
Okay.
So their Facebook, I don't have their Facebook up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my Facebook is
Oh,
dead.
Oh yeah.
I've observed that their Facebook was very similar, but we disagreed on that when we talked about
Right.
it. So
Because I noticed that there's more photos on their Facebook as opposed to their Instagram. There's more happy children playing. There's more fun activities being shown. Like to me, whatever is featured, not featured, but whatever shown on their Facebook post should also be shown on their Instagram post. There's none of this little, salesy, texty boxes that we see on Instagram. I didn't see any of that on Facebook.
Is it true that you'd like to see more, even on Facebook, of kids playing and things that what you liked, you'd still like to see more of on Facebook?
Exactly. But whatever they're doing with the photos of the kids on Facebook, they're not doing on Instagram, and they should be.
And I think YouTube was something we wanted to talk about.
YouTube is definitely something we want to talk about, but they're missing it.
Yeah.
They do not have a YouTube.
Yes.
I will get into that in the final section. I think having a YouTube is probably the most vital thing that they could possibly do. We'll get into that in the fourth section, but I do want to look them up really quick while we still have time.
Okay, yeah, we have 45 seconds left in this segment.
So really quick, they are on LinkedIn. And again, we'll talk about why it's smart to be on LinkedIn later on, but I can't find them on LinkedIn. That's kind of an issue.
That's interesting. Did you spell it right?
I think I did. Okay. I did not spell it all the way, but again, that's
Did you type
also...
in Glenview School?
No, I did not.
You want them to be more accessible.
I need them to be more accessible on any platform they're going to be on. I typed in their full name, and I still can't find them on LinkedIn. Now, if they don't have a LinkedIn, that's another thing. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I swear I thought they did.
All right, segment is up.
Hey, wow.
Let's move on to photo content.
Okay.
Hilda, lead us into photos.
I don't know. What do you want to know? Like what kind of photos I would do for
Yeah.
them? Definitely
To target the avatar.
To target the avatar.
Well, here's the weird part. Obviously,
job.
yeah. I would definitely show more of the teachers teaching and doing fun activities such as like a gym teacher, running them around in the big wide open field, because especially they're close to an area in Glenview that there's like this huge open space in the Glen, like these beautiful parks they have access to. So I would definitely want to show the kids doing stuff outside, having fun, the teachers being very attentive, like one-on-one, like, hey, like if you need private time, this is what we do. So I would be more... I would want to see, as a mom, I would more want to see like how the interaction happens between the kids and the teachers, how kids are including other children in their activities, also showing the diversity that they preach about, showing that it's actually happening. It's not just happening on a photo on the homepage, that it's actually happening in everyday life.
Really good point. Yeah.
I would love to see all that. And not only that, I would love to see, are there any special needs classes? Are there any, wheelchair accessible, entrances and exits for kids who might be in a wheelchair? Like, how inclusive are you really? I would love to see all that. I would also love to see how the classrooms look, how the building looks, what's around there. Like, pretty much everything. Like, there's a lot of word information. Isn't a lot of visual information on their website, and people are very visual. They're not going to read the words; they're just going to look at the pictures.
People will look at photos longer.
Yeah,
like people will seek out text and information if they are adamant about finding the information.
Yes.
If they need a question answered, they're going to look for the text information. But 9 times out of 10, people will stop and look at a photo epically longer, faster, and more engaged than they will with text. Especially, even if text is in the image, it doesn't matter. I want to see the photo. I think what you brought up is a really good point, and I think something on top of that is it doesn't need to be high-end photo. I don't think what you're talking about needs to be like staged photography with like the perfect shot. I just think there needs to be a ton more.
Like I would love to see just the teachers taking photos of the kids that they're teaching.
It would feel insanely more personal at that point too.
Also, I would recommend like the kids who are old enough to have their own cell phones, like post a photo per day, and then you could do something like you could be like the most. You could be like the photographer of the week,
that's what
stuff
I was just
like
about
that,
to say.
and then like
can I have like a reward for the kid, and they can be like the the mayor of the Instagram
Yes.
for the day.
Exactly.
And they're allowed to post like four images.
Yes, and maybe people can even vote on it. So when they share
that's a
it,
great
you know,
idea.
then it's more activity on Instagram and it's
that's
more
the big
interesting.
thing. And
Yes.
The post isn't as important. Your photo is not as important on Instagram as the engagement
Yep.
is. As
And of
getting
course-
people to comment. It's not just the likes, it's the comments.
And what kid isn't going to brag about that they are a photographer of the week or
So
something like
I want to
that?
bring it back to how are these images appealing to the woman in Glenview
Yep.
who's looking
Thank you,
for
Nathan.
Good point.
Thank you,
a
Nathan.
school for
But-
her kids.
Getting excited.
But this is a person that values traditional values. She's
Got it.
probably a Catholic. If we're
Yeah.
going to target
Catholic.
very specific,
Yeah,
we're talking
right.
a Catholic woman who's trying to find a place for her kids. Maybe she's trying to start them in this school, and if she puts them in it,
Right.
3 years old in kindergarten,
Right.
maybe she wants them all the way till 8th grade. So
Right.
Right.
So what
and this is someone who wants a place that has traditional Catholic values.
Yep.
She's cool with diversity and having people
Correct.
from different
Yep.
backgrounds. She's good with that.
Yep.
And also a high level of scholastic
Of
achievement.
scholastic.
Yep.
So that I'm not sure I heard too much of
I
in
didn't
your
either. Right,
pitch.
right,
so
right.
that would be included, but you can also shoot, images of kids in the classroom really focused on their work.
Because Jason brought up that it doesn't have to be professional, so that's why we went down that road. Obviously,
Right.
I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
prefer that I would be doing the photos.
We
Yeah.
would be doing it professionally, but
Yeah.
we would want to make it look like documentary style. We
Yes.
talked about documentary style before.
Yeah, we're not going to post 3-year-olds, behind a desk. The 3-year-olds just do whatever 3-year-olds do. They either are sitting there or not.
true.
So yeah.
The goal, though, being, I think you're right that we don't want something super highly staged because this is not like I said earlier, maybe off camera, this is not a national campaign.
Yeah.
This is
a local.
You're pretty
Yeah.
much targeting women in Glenview.
Yeah,
Correct.
Right?
And the one thing
So-
I thought of, sorry, to cut you off, but I once upon a time I used to go to church, and it wasn't Catholic, but it was Lutheran, and I remember usually my ADD I tune out. So I'm always looking for something to do that wasn't on my phone because it's rude. So I used to flip through the program,
Yeah.
So I would love to going back to people who go to that church, right? They need an insert of that this school is available for them. They might not even know. I don't know how prominent their church school connection is. Maybe some people just go to church and some people just have kids in school. Okay, so I would take a lot of pretty pictures of the pretty kids. Okay, how about that?
Nathan, with your mindset of keeping it with scholastic achievement, I think the important aspect here is to show not only what happens in the school, but what happens afterwards. Who graduated from this school and went on to do something great?
I
who
like
owns their
that.
own business? Who
I love that.
went on to do something with community aspects afterwards, and then harken back to what values did they bring, which I have an idea for this for video, but you can do this with photo all day. And then you can do one carousel or a week of content, whatever, and just have tons of here, this is Harry. Harry went on to own a company in Park Ridge. It's a very successful company,
remember?
but he never, we're not there yet. He owns a company, he helps the community, he does all this great outreach. Let's talk about what he's doing
Right.
because
Of this school.
he went to this school.
Right. That's why I was going to say one of the people who wrote the review saying that I went to this school
Bingo.
and now, so maybe that person is.
So they should also be posting screenshots of those reviews.
Yes.
They have 19 reviews or 18 good reviews,
good reviews.
one throwaway review,
Yeah.
which someone just didn't write anything at all. But you have 18 good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Take a screenshot of that. I want to see one of those reviews per week on their social. And
wanna-
get more,
yeah.
get
Yeah,
more, get
encourage
more, get
parents.
more.
I'd like to continue on your idea for the photos. Take that person's portrait in the classroom they used to go to when they were at
That's
that
fun.
school. You take them back to that school and having that information, this person is a graduate.
Yeah.
But showing them in that classroom where they grew up and showing where they
Where
went
they-
on
where they are
to-
now.
what they went on to do.
Yes.
That's very valuable. It's like a testimonial, but it's in photo
It's a visual
form.
testimonial.
It would do well on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and also, it could be posters in the school.
I was just thinking the same thing. Because they're talking, they did print media, which was not very good for magazines and coupons and things like that. I don't think that's the right angle for this. I think by shotgunning mailers out to people not a lot's going to come from it. If you're trying to, fix my storm drain on my basement, that's fantastic, but not for a school education. And having something like that, maybe on a poster at like a local community event or on social, or social is hands down your number one most important thing with this, because it's free. All it takes is time.
I wonder if they could have at the Glenview, the venue where I work at a lot, at the Glen. The Grove, sorry. They have these huge, like we're talking 3 to 4 feet tall waterproof posters, and you cannot miss it. So I'm wondering, like, if they had something huge, eye-catching as they drive by the school or the church. I mean, like, take one of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that huge photo that you were mentioning, like, it would be a poster printout that could also be on the outside of the school.
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys like the idea of like the photos being posted actually physically in the surrounding area.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
I do, but let's bring it back to photo while we still have time. So that's marketing.
That's photo.
That's marketing
We're talking
with
about
the photo.
application of the
Gotcha.
photos.
Yes, right.
Understood. Okay.
So let's talk about what other photo content can they do, because we have naturalistic, lots of natural photos of what's going on. We have alumni. We have
Essentially a testimonial.
Yeah.
which is a visual testimonial. And
teachers-
again, that's what it boils down to, is testimonials are going to be your bread and butter when it comes to this.
Because actually, just to get into the psychology of being a mother, I don't know, isn't that what you want to see? Like, if you're going to put your kids into a certain school, to see like what your child could become.
Yes.
This is what they
that would
do.
that
kind
would
of
be
excite.
huge. That would be huge.
Right,
That would definitely
exactly.
make me do a double take and want to find out more.
That's a
Yes.
very strong point to
Also, if it says, highly rated on whatever scholastic achievement and all that.
Yes,
So like having
yes.
like the visual, with the stars and all that and achievement. Yeah, definitely. I would love that beyond anything.
I mean, that's the reason my parents put me in the school I went to. But literally the year that I went to high school, all those teachers moved out.
Oh, no.
So anyway, keeping with diversity, I would put a lot of diverse aspects in there.
Yes.
But they went out of their way in their information to say, even if you're not Catholic, so I would say maybe advertise that to a non-Catholic base, because you keep bringing back the avatar of someone with Catholic values. I don't think we need that per
Not
se.
necessarily.
I don't think that is the number one driving aspect of their brand. I think their brand really comes from diversity and scholastic achievement. And if the diversity works together to appease that scholastic achievement, I mean, you can have any background whatsoever, because all you're doing is getting these kids ready for a grander, better future.
Another point to that is that there are a lot of Catholic schools.
There are
Like,
a lot.
I'm not sure being a Catholic school is not necessarily the differentiating factor.
I think the diversity is, so maybe showing like 2 dads whose kid goes to this school.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would say that either, though,
Why?
to be honest, because I think that's you're going the other direction.
No, but they
If-
do.
if-
Isn't diversity also including gay couples? I mean, to me, that's diversity.
I would.
I don't.
It's not just
I want to say
colors.
demographically, gay couples are not likely to have their kids in a Catholic school.
But a private
I do
school-
think that there is there's still those values that people might not be like
I don't know.
feeling
know.
like that.
They are driving at their branding here. Now, granted, we're not this brand. We can't speak for
Right.
them. So
Yeah.
we can't argue one way or another.
Right.
We can
I'm
only
not
take-
suggesting that the school would feel a certain way, but I don't. It maybe I shouldn't speak for any demographic, but I wouldn't.
See,
say
I
it.
would.
I
Because
totally.
that's a high diversity.
But
And if
Direction.
that's what they're aiming for.
That's what they're aiming for. I think the most Catholic schools have their little target market. They're good to go. This school is looking to be unique. And how do you become unique? By advertising to the gay couple that is being neglected that was raised Catholic.
Maybe I think
I was
I
going to
don't
say,
know.
yeah, you can be gay and Catholic.
100%.
It's not a deterrent.
Yes. They're looking to find their unique niche in the very oversaturated market.
And when it comes to social media, finding your specific niche. Oh man!
Yeah.
Once you find it, you
Yeah.
go.
That's
Again,
that might
we
be a
don't- we don't-
bold
again, we
choice for
don't
them
know.
for their
We
branding.
don't know.
That would be stepping into maybe controversy. You could somebody might write a news story about
This is what
a
I'm
Catholic
saying.
school.
But so all the people that are going to be turned off, maybe there's like 100 others that will take notice because of that article, and then they will get more enrollment, which is the goal.
So let's not go down
Depends
too
on
much.
what
We're
they'd be willing to
spending
do.
way too much time on this. Bring it back.
Yes.
Last ideas for photo. You have 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
I gave you all my. I for some reason I keep going back that I want to see the people who are teaching my children. Like, to me, I need to be connected more to the person that's giving my children their daily education, because they are spending more time with my child than I am, because they're
That's
in
super
school,
true.
8 hours a day. Okay, I want to see who those people are. I want to know that those are good vetted people. Maybe mention something like background checks, to make sure that they're safe people to be
Yeah,
around. I would want to see them. I don't know why. I just want to see the people. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Any last ideas for photos?
I think we got pretty good ideas.
Yeah. I really like the visual testimonials. That was good.
And the section is over.
Let's jump into video.
Yay.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start us off here because I have
It's
ideas.
all you.
It's very easy to go second because
I hate going first. Can we change that,
we
please?
can absolutely change it.
Okay.
Okay, so one, the lack of YouTube, I think, is a critical misstep in their branding.
Huge.
Because, and we can get into it later, but Google owns YouTube. If people are Googling for information, they're going to shove video in the search engine first. There's no reason you shouldn't have 100, 200 videos on YouTube. And most of them don't have to be glossy. You need like 1 or 2 glossy videos. The rest of them can be information. So the most important thing I think they need to do, besides anything else, is produce more videos. And they don't need to be great. They need to be information. I need to be able to find a 1 to 2 minute video on exactly what I'm looking for instantly. Either whether I Google or go to their YouTube, I ask a question on their page, I should be able to find that information. So every every frequently asked question should have a video based on it. Every element of your school that you want people to know, they need to have a video on it. Not just an overarching video, which is great for, hey, get your attention. But if you're honestly wanting people to spend money, I need to know all the ins and outs of this before I drop that kind of coin. Since I'm already paying for taxes, my kid's school is already paid for.
Right.
I need that information.
Yeah.
So, harking back to the photo idea, testimonials, I think, are the number one type of
Yeah.
video.
And video testimonials are going to be way stronger.
It's going to be way stronger.
100%.
I've said this before on the show, but in case this is your first time watching, we are living in an augmentator society, which means we no longer praise the creatives. We praise the reviews of the creatives. I.e., when was the last time you went to Amazon and just bought a TV? Or did you read all the reviews first? The
Yep.
reviews are more important.
I sometimes click on the reviews first, even before reading the information.
Before I even look at the
Yeah.
specs sometimes.
Wow, that's crazy.
So having a school, something you're going to drop coin on, having that Google business page is vital, which they have. They have 19 reviews or 18 good ones.
Yeah.
They should be able to get other people voiced on camera. And again, it doesn't need to be like glossy. You can have the kids. Seeing the kids, like seeing them on camera being like, what do you like about the school? I'm sorry, you're a mom. I'm gonna talk to you specifically here.
Yeah.
Kids don't want to go to school.
Yeah.
Like, unless there's like something cool happening,
Yeah, they usually don't.
they usually don't,
No,
right? But imagine being a mom and seeing another kid going, I fell in love with science. I love science.
I would be all over that.
You'd be all in. You'd be like,
Yes.
where are they going to school where my
They're
kids aren't?
excited about science.
So
yeah.
having small little snippets like that, I think is ideal for TikTok. And I'm sorry, most people of our generation aren't on TikTok. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The idea is to get those clips out. TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts are not designed to be the end all be all of your content stream. These short little vertical videos are only designed as a funneling system to get you to the main information. So you can do a testimonial, okay? You get Harry, who owns the company, who's coming back to do his headshot in the classroom, right? Have him do a 4-minute little interview on camera. post that whole thing. Then take 15-second chunks out of that. Post all those things to Instagram, post all those things to TikTok, post all those things to YouTube Shorts. That funnels back to your main page.
And doing something as simple as putting the full video on the website,
Bing.
that's probably, because we were discussing like the likelihood that a person's going to find the school on Instagram and
It's
want to
low.
enroll her children
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
That's very low likelihood. So that works in terms of as an external funnel type thing, but in terms of getting somebody who knows about the school or finds out about the school to really want to get their kid enrolled,
Yeah.
that the full video on a place like YouTube. Their website where they can watch the whole thing while they're doing their mom research, because they're going to be clear lot of research.
Right.
You better be.
That's probably the first step, right? Just get
Right.
it out and have a clear testimonial that works on your phone, and you know
That works on
which-
your phone.
Yeah.
That's probably
key.
the accessibility of that is
Yeah.
a big thing.
The website definitely needs more information-based videos. And they need to be accessible. So it means post them on YouTube, link to YouTube, and you can embed videos in your website from YouTube. But YouTube is already designed to crush the size of the video, so it's easy to play on phones. You don't have to do any math. You don't have to do any crushing on your website. So just embed it
Yeah.
into your system.
Yeah.
Years ago, it was considered faux pas to link a YouTube video to your business page.
Really?
It was like, oh, well, that's where people play the games and stuff. You got to go through all these other, you have to have the video on the website. That doesn't exist anymore. Okay. That is a long dead mentality because it's no longer about where you post. It's about what you post. It's about what are you giving out? What value are you giving your audience? And I think the testimonials are fantastic, but I think you brought up an awesome point that I want to piggyback off of. Stories. I want to know who these teachers are. I want to know their personality.
Yep.
I want to know if I'm going to get excited about this teacher teaching my kid, because as a teacher myself, I guess we have a lot to touch on here. I teach at a college, and if I had known some of the teachers when I went to college, and the amount of work that I put into teaching my students is epically more than half of the teachers I had. But now I look back and I look at the teachers who actually put the work and the effort in. Holy crap. Like, I knew I liked them for a reason,
Yeah.
but then I look back and go, oh, because they gave a shit about my education.
Having a teacher with a passion is so important because that comes across. I've heard you talk about subjects that I do not care about, but just listening to you talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fascinating about the Kuleshov effect. I'm like, now I know what that is.
That you remember the title.
And you know how bad my memory is.
Yes.
And I could even tell somebody what that means,
Yeah.
you know? So that's fascinating to me.
So I think what you can do with that kind of personality, and let's face it, if you're teaching kids, you kind of have a passion for teaching. You didn't just fall into it, goes, I guess I'll teach children.
Some have.
well,
I've
okay,
had them
it
in
might
my
happen.
high school. I'm just saying, yeah.
But I'm saying probably in today's
Yes,
environment, in
yes,
today's landscape,
yes.
you probably want to teach
Especially
the kids.
little ones, because you definitely have
Yeah.
to have infinite patience and passion for wanting to teach those little ones. Yeah.
So I think if these teachers put their kind of passion on like story-based videos, and I'm saying like 10, 20, 30 seconds at the extreme max,
Yep.
and not rehearsed, not planned out, just give us like, here, this is the classroom, this is what we're doing today. And you see all the kids like uproar because they're on camera.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Not only does that show that the kids like the teacher, but it shows you that the kids want to be there. You know, and you don't have to tell them that. Just get them a little excited. Just, you know.
Yes.
And doing these kind of videos, you could. Here's the thing with social media. You guys know this, is you need to post all the time.
Yep.
All the time, because it is a sea of other people posting at the same time. And if you don't, you will get lost. Social media is not where you go to give a ton of information. It is where you go to say, hey, if you like us, then go to our website, then come to a meeting, then do this. It's just a trailer for the movie you want people to go see.
And you know, your suggestion focused on showing parents how fun these classes are with all
Yeah.
the kids
Right.
on camera.
Right.
Uproar. What you also really want is teachers explaining how their school is differentiated from a public school.
And this is where I want to go next.
The higher
Exactly.
standards of actually having a teacher talk to camera is great, but I think that the best application of that is this is the curriculum we're teaching. This is how
Bingo.
it goes a step beyond public schools.
And this is how it's important. I think that's the most important thing. You get people's attention by doing the hoorah. Okay? Think about movie trailers. Everything comes back to movies for me because that's really all I know, right? Think about movie trailers. That first opening couple seconds isn't about how the girl meets the boy and how they fall in love. No, it's the explosion. It's the fireworks. It's the big thing just to catch your attention, then go, I want to know a little bit more.
Yeah.
So then you start diving into this is our curriculum, but you don't have to do it stuffily. You don't have to do it like textbooky.
Boring, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If you're teaching something, chances are you kind of like what you're teaching.
Yes.
Okay. So bring a little enjoyment to it. Don't give too much blah blah. I know that's your thing.
Yep.
Don't give too much blah blah. Just give me a hint. Show me what the kids are learning. Show me why they're learning it here at this school
Yep.
versus maybe this other school isn't going over this. Why is that important? And why is this going to be important 10 years from now
Yeah.
when they're in high school, when they're
Yeah.
in college, when they're starting their own career? Why is this important? Because I look back at my own education, we were just taught stuff to take the test, to move on.
Yeah, yeah. The one class I remember always enjoying in high school is economics. And
Really?
yes. And I didn't know why, and it was business economics, like why businesses do X and how do businesses do Y. And I always aced all the tests. I did all the homework without effort. It was never a struggle. And it took me a decade to figure out that maybe I should be in business, But it's like I had a passion and a love for it, but it wasn't nurtured in a way that it should have been.
Bingo.
So that would have been like, oh, hey, if you like this class, maybe you should do this. It was just like, let's get you through this class and here's your diploma. Bye.
Right.
You know? So yeah, you're right. The whole nurturing aspect and pointing them in the right direction is just as
But
important.
you need to show that.
Yes,
You
you
need
have
to
to
show
show
it
it.
in videos. Now, here's the kicker. Everything up until this point has been very DIY. The issue is you are asking people to spend a lot of money. This is not, hey, come to our store and buy a vacuum.
Yep.
You are literally, and let's use the correct word here, you are making an investment. This isn't just a sale. This is an investment in your child's future.
Yeah, not just for 1 year, for many, many years.
This is for their life. You are
Yes.
investing in their entire life.
Yes.
So I think, number one, all of your video content needs to be with the idea and mindset of an investment.
Yep.
You are doing this for their good, not just because it's fun, but you need to
Yep.
have the fun in there.
Yep.
Okay. You need to have the fireworks
Yep.
before you understand
Yep.
how they met in the
Yep.
story.
And what I think what would make the parents connect to the video more than anything is that heartstring aspect that you're so good at, like editing. I don't know how you do your magic, but like anything you edit, I'm like, ooh, I want that. I want
that's
that
where
thing.
I'm.
Yes.
That's exactly where I'm going to go next. Is everything has been DIY up until this point, but you need one, maybe two down the line, but you need one right now.
Yeah.
Glossy.
Yeah. Hero video.
Well
Yeah.
produced
Yes.
video that goes over everything. That goes over the diversity. That goes over the academics. That goes over the care and why this school is more important
passion,
than everything
yeah.
else, and goes into the passion. And that's what they keep saying in their forum is like,
Yeah.
we are a passionate community. We
Yeah.
are driven. So if that's true,
Show me.
you need to show me.
Show me.
And you need to educate me. And that video cannot be longer. 3 minutes is an extreme long. 2 minutes is your sweet spot. Anything over 3 minutes, you have lost your viewers completely.
Yeah.
A minute is golden. If you can do all of that information in a minute, it's fantastic. If you can do it in 2, it's understandable because this isn't the video you're going to post on Instagram. This isn't the video you're going to post like, oh, come check us out. No, this is the video. It's like, hey, you got our attention. Now watch
Yes.
this.
Once you're on the homepage, that's like, yeah, I
This
want to
is-
come in and
Yes, that's
tour
it.
the school.
I want to
Yeah.
come in. This is why really, really, really upscale like boutique stores, yeah, they're cool to go into, but when you come in there, that's why they hand you champagne. That's why they hand you like chocolates and
It's
stuff.
the experience.
It's the experience. Get them in the door, get them to the site, get them to learn more, and then give them this glossy champagne experience of 2 minutes of just glory.
Because
put the money into that.
Exactly. But because of that, I'm guessing that once they are at the school, then that's, I think, more than 90% of the commitment is
Correct.
already there because they came to the school.
Correct.
Like with our clients, if they come and sit down with us face to face, we know odds are they're booking. Okay.
Right.
Because they made the commitment to come to us.
Yeah, and then basically then they already know the value. Now we're going to push the extra value.
Yes.
They know why, but we're going to prove to them why.
Yes.
20 seconds left in
And
this.
that's why you need the DIY videos, lots of content, lots of information, lots of personality and testimonials.
Yeah.
Get everyone to write a review, get everyone to post a review, things like that. Lots and lots of reviews. But then you need one high-end, glossy, and I'm not saying this for me, but put the money into that.
Do you know any good videographers by any chance?
I know a couple.
Okay, good.
They're sitting at this table. So let's move on as I drop my pen
Last
to the
part.
fourth section. Let's move on to the marketing.
Marketing.
Now, I'm sorry to.
Okay,
I did
yes.
not mean to like break you down before.
I keep
so,
going into marketing when I
so
think I'm talking about photos.
You did
so I
talk
forgot
about the
what
Glen, so let's just jump into that. Let's
Okay,
talk
that-
about what is the Glen.
The Grove in
The
Glen
Grove, the
the
Grove.
Grove in Glenview is a beautiful park district venue that I go to weddings to shoot weddings.
Lots of
to,
people go there.
Yes, and to walk around
Yeah.
and to explore nature. And if you've never been there, they started something new. Like they have this huge 5, 6, 7 foot tall poster. I don't know how big it is because I'm driving by it. Of oh, did you know we do weddings? And then there's like a bride and whatever. And like the next month, it's like, hey, we have a dinosaur skeleton at the Grove. Come and see it. And then next time, it's like, oh, did you know we do Civil War reenactments?
See, this all sounds like self-promotion, though. Are they willing to take on advertising from an outside source?
No, I'm just saying. Using them as an example, this is
sorry,
what the
sorry.
school should be doing. If they are near a public street, they should have a giant something eye-catching that says
I agree.
diversity, that says
So
come
them, the
in.
school
Yes,
should.
like call today to make an appointment.
I agree.
You know, shiny, happy people on the poster.
Diverse.
Diversity, yes,
Yes.
with like the stars that says, you know, so-and-so.
Reviews.
Exactly.
Have a short little
Yes.
like 5
So I'm just
word
saying
review.
that's something like it's if you already have a location and you're not taking advantage of it by putting up huge signs that says come in and find out why our school is the best, you're missing out. That was my point with that.
Okay.
So targeting local people
Yes.
is kind of the
Because that's what they want. They're not going national. Like the people
Right.
who are living around there are your target
So
market.
put the money into the geography.
Yes.
Not the expanse. Because again,
Yes.
I mean, they tried that with the mailers. They had really poor results with the mailers
Yeah.
and the coupons. And
Mailer
things like that.
to me says low end. I throw
It
away
really
every
does.
mailer. Yeah.
We've talked about this on the show before, but like easily 90% of the stuff I get in the mail, it gets pitched before I even look at
Yep.
it.
Doesn't matter how shiny the flyer is.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, it,
Yeah.
it doesn't. That's not going to get me to understand more.
Yep.
Are there any other options with local marketing besides a large billboard?
I would say social outreach to businesses, getting connections with, doing events at like a local diner that everyone loves, things like that. Like I have a local restaurant in town here that does tons of stuff like that. They have people come in, they do podcasts and stuff. And regardless of what the podcast is about, people will come in and like they'll grab a sandwich and just sit and listen.
They do
a little bit.
podcasts at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Really?
neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow.
Blue Box Cafe, freaking awesome business.
Nice.
We might do them in the future. But connecting again, they say they're community based. So let's reach out to the community and see what can you do. Like think outside the box. I'm not
Right.
saying like guerrilla marketing, like spray paint the streets or something, but like what can you do to have a social outreach in an engaging environment?
I
in the
have
community?
an idea. You were talking about TikTok. Well, who's on TikTok? Teenagers,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Okay. Well, they go all the way up to age 14. So let's say you get a phone when you're 11 and 12 and you
Which-
get on TikTok and you
When
have
I'm,
it.
I'm learning that's more normal than
Exactly.
not.
You could also have a promotion on who can make the most interesting TikToks about the school.
Now, granted, we're not the brand. We
Right.
can't estimate that. But I think putting the DIY
Yeah.
video ideas
Yeah.
to work, I think, is astronomically important. But it needs to go through the school first.
100%.
And then the school can say, hey, we're going to post
yes.
this.
100%. Of course, all goes and with parents' approval and
Yeah,
all
there
that.
you go, there
yes,
you go,
yeah,
there you go.
it's fine print. You know.
Lots of fun.
Where are the target avatar demographics going to be in Glenview besides church?
LinkedIn.
Are they?
So LinkedIn, because people have actual relationships that is somewhat based on geography.
That is based on geography.
Mm.
LinkedIn is really based on geography. You are not reaching out to people across the country you don't know.
As often, certainly.
As often, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
very good point. Not as often.
Okay.
You are reaching out to people you actually know. And most of the people you actually know are probably community-based. And they're connected. Like I said this years ago, and I said it with like a frowny face. LinkedIn is adult Facebook.
Okay.
And that's basically what it
yeah,
is. It's
I
I
guess.
don't go there to enjoy my time. I go there to connect with other businesses.
Okay.
And as an adult, you do that to stay connected with other businesses. And if you're in a community with other businesses, you connect with other businesses. Whether you want to or not, that's basically how LinkedIn works. So I think while LinkedIn is fantastic to connect with the avatar, I think by shotgunning the message out, Facebook is probably their best social media platform for getting like shares now, information. I
Okay.
think that's far more important
Okay.
than in
and
Instagram.
basically accessing the network of people that are local within
Yes,
the city.
100%.
But
Yeah.
that,
Yes.
it gives them further access to people in their community.
and it's more information.
Though-
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like a farmer's market popped into my mind because I'm not saying they should go to farmer's market. I'm just saying people who live in the suburbs, they usually have a local farmer's market.
Yeah, and they're great, but how many times do you actually stop at those booths?
Maybe once a month. So maybe not. How about like the 4th of July parade? You know, like we're talking about like the float and stuff, but not the float as much as there's usually an event after. So like everybody is there, you know, like your local jewel, your local whatever. Okay. And they all have like their little, you know, games and their giveaways and whatever. So why not go to one of these events and be like, hey, look, this is our fun school. These are our fun teachers, you know, like give them more information where you actually get to connect face to face with the people that might be teaching your children or the principal or something
okay.
like that. So that okay says that you don't like my idea.
No. I'm. What the idea is how are we putting our photos and videos to that market?
Right, by handing out information with the shiny, happy people that shows the diversity.
But they've
So
already said that the handouts don't really work that well.
the mailers,
True,
but
true,
getting
true,
it
true,
from somebody else, you know, just as a take-home thing, you know.
We think maybe pamphlets or things of that nature
Yeah.
at an event.
I mean, they'll probably throw. They'll probably throw it away anyway. But just having a reason to talk to somebody that might be teaching your child
Face-to-face.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's the
Oh.
face-to-face connection
Okay,
more than anything.
I'm taking back my haha, and I will say yes, this is important because let's say who are the people who actually go to these events? Like I don't go to these events.
Parents with children.
Parents
that's who
with
goes
children.
there. Yeah, because they usually have like the cops, the local cops there, where you get to sit in their police car and turn on the sirens and all
that's
that.
not important. What's important is
Community-
getting
But-
the
but
brand
But that's the
out.
draw. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
right,
The
right,
draw is
right.
already there.
So you're getting the
getting
family with kids, and then again, we talked about this before the show started, was that word of mouth is always the best advertising, but how do you get word of mouth? You know, you hand someone a pamphlet, and then a teacher is talking to you.
Yes.
A teacher.
Yes, not a representative.
Not a
of
representative.
The school. Yes, not a salesperson.
Correct, not a
Yes.
salesperson, correct. And that's the deciding factor. That's
Yes.
what changed my opinion as soon as
Yes,
you
and
said
it
that.
could be like, you know, my name is Mr. So-and-so. I teach math 8th grade, or I
Yes.
teach, you know, art 5th grade and stuff like that. Ask me art
And
questions
then you have
or
big
whatever.
posters of all the kids in the classrooms doing exciting
Yep.
things.
And have video rolling on the table
Right,
of all
right.
the things. Yeah.
And the bigger the TV, the better.
yeah.
I know that's a cliche thing to say, especially for a video person, but you need a big monitor to
Eye-catching,
show that
yeah,
video. You need to
100%.
catch their eyes. Small monitors, they never work, man. And no one's going to stop and listen to something like that. That video should also probably be without sound too,
Yes.
because it's going to be so hard to hear
Yes.
anyway. Why waste the time of
Yes.
trying to get that information across?
So yeah, more involvement in community
Yeah.
events. That makes sense because, but it's not. Here's what I've been thinking about while you guys have been talking. We're recommending these, or we're creating ideas for media, photos and videos for a school. The target avatar is, the way I see it, likely already to know that this is an option when they've started their school search.
Are
What
they?
we're trying to do.
I don't think
yes,
so.
well, I'll tell you why. Because if you live in Glenview and you want your kids to go to a Catholic school, there's 2 or 3 options, maybe. Maybe you could drive your kids outside of Glenview,
Well,
but
that's-
there's a few options in right where you live. My point is, what we would produce is most useful to the client, the school, as a resource once people have already found out about the school. Because otherwise,
what
we're
we've been talking
creating
about is
ads
that,
to.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not creating like commercials to drive eyeballs on the school so much as we are selling the highest
Get in here
benefits
and-
of the
and
school.
be
Yes.
So that's
part.
why community involvement in community events. That's
a good point.
That's increasing visibility.
That's visibility,
but that's
not-
just more the school having
Correct,
a reputation.
correct.
True.
That's
True,
That's
I agree.
has less
Shoot,
to do
I got
with
so
us.
excited about that.
I know,
That's
I
absolutely
agree.
right.
It
Because
has-
we
That's a
have
good
to focus
point.
on
It
the
has
ROI.
less to do with our photo and video, but that doesn't mean that we don't recommend they do it.
Right, right, right.
We're
So
recommending
let's
is-
just okay. So going back to why it's so important.
Thank you.
Nathan. I know. This is why he's the brains of the operation.
take
I
that
ju-
word
I-
salad
I-
and
I
do
just-
You're going to
something
come
with
over
it.
here and like
Yeah,
sit here
I
next time.
just pushed the button. Good point. And also, like when the moms do search for Glenview private schools, like having an awesome video, like you described, like that's what's going to differentiate them from
Right,
all
right,
the
right,
other
right.
websites they come across. Yeah.
I want to bring up something really quick. When we were looking up the website online, we typed in different variations to try and find them, and that's really important. But we typed in Glenview private Catholic school. They were number 2 on the search.
Yep.
We typed in Glenview private school. They were number 3.
Yep.
The next biggest town, because you live there,
Park
the next
Ridge.
biggest town is Park Ridge. We typed in Park Ridge private schools. They're not on that list at all.
Nope. So their SEO.
That needs to be on their SEO for some, like,
Yep.
it doesn't matter if you're in Park Ridge or not. It needs to be
Yes.
on your SEO.
Yes.
So that's what we're bringing up with that. Anyway, I
Yeah.
didn't want to go too
'Cause
far into that.
Park-
How does one do that?
You just put it on your website,
Yeah.
close to Park Ridge,
Yeah.
next to Park
also
Ridge.
in Google, put it on your
Yeah.
like when you type stuff on Google. It's like
Well,
we
that's,
also
that's what it is. Like on
Yeah.
your website, you put that on there, and then
No,
Google
al-
finds that.
No, also on Google when you update your Google photos and
Oh,
your
your
Google
business page.
That's
Oh,
what I
oh,
mean. Your
okay,
business
okay.
page, yes.
I think hands down, end all, you need to work on your Google business page, and you need a YouTube. I
Bare
think,
minimum.
I think I mean that YouTube needs to be up now, especially since we're in July right now.
Yeah.
And people are enrolling.
Yeah.
I mean that YouTube needs to be on now. Any people who haven't decided on it yet are looking for answers right now, and that is your hub. That is your table of contents for people who aren't going to reach out to you.
Once they look at your website, once they whatever path they're taking to find out more about your school, do the research. YouTube is the place where your testimonial videos can live.
Correct.
And your any content that you produce, this video can live centrally. So
And I say this every episode, but in case this is your first episode, YouTube is the number 2 search engine on the planet. There is zero reason you shouldn't have a YouTube page for anything you do. Any work should have it, but especially for this. If you need to learn the personal connections of your community with your brand, nothing says it better than video. What else can we do to push this brand with the photos and videos that we came up with? How else can we push this marketing to get people to step over the ledge and go, yes, I am going to buy here. Yes, I am going to send my child here. What would push you as a mother, as someone who is younger than me, who, is, well, let's be honest, is you have little brothers. What would push you over the edge to be like, let's go there.
yeah, for me, the differentiating factor of a private school versus a public school, if I had that option to put my kids in a private school, I might, because I would want my kids to, go above and beyond academically to achieve more.
Right.
I do believe that kids with the highest resources available have a better chance of doing
They have a better
well
chance.
in the world and maybe contributing to the world. So
For me, if I'm putting my first child in private school, I want to know that the second one gets a discount and the third one even gets a bigger discount, because that's a lot of investment. I'm sorry.
is.
I'm looking at the bottom line. If I can afford private school barely, I want to be able to afford it for the second one as well. So I would want a discount.
So,
for my-
but that would push you over the line?
yes, 100%, especially if I already have 3 kids almost school age. Yes.
That's a good point. Okay. Me, considering I don't have kids, Nathan's aspect is my really important thing is, sure, they might get A's now or they might learn this. That doesn't matter to me. How is this going to help them get into that job?
Yeah.
How is this going to help them in front of everyone else? How is this literally going to help them, not just help them right now?
Yeah.
So I think anything kind of aspect like that, that's end all be all will call to me.
okay, we have
Makes
20
sense.
seconds
Any
left.
last thoughts?
Nope. I'm good.
I think we got this one pretty good
I think so too.
with the information we had. I think they have a great opportunity to do something amazing here. Literally, it's not going to take money. It's going to take time.
Yep.
Time is the most valuable thing normally, but for this brand,
Especially.
very important. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Pitch Session. Guys, we did.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I feel strong about that because I feel like this brand can actually do well.
That was an interesting one. One was unique from the other ones.
It really
Yes.
was. Yeah.
Yes.
Because before we've been doing like products.
Yes.
This is like the product is people.
This is a different.
Yeah.
It felt different. It was interesting, though. Very interesting.
So, guys, thank you so much. Join us again every Monday or Tuesday, whenever we're publishing this.
Yeah.
Very soon, we're going to be live streaming these every Monday. So you can write in while we're talking, and then we can spend this last part right here answering any questions
am
that
not
you might
looking
have.
That will
forward
be
to that.
fun.
No.
That will be nerve-wracking and fun.
Yes.
You guys are like angel and the devil on my shoulder. So, again, thank you so much. I've been Jason.
Hilda.
I'm Nathan.
Together, we are EO7 Media, where we can do all of the things that we talked about on this show for you and your business.
Yes.
Or we can come in and consult with your business
yes.
one-on-one. We actually do this a lot more than we advertise. We should be advertising
Yes,
that
we
a
should.
lot
So
more.
mention that every segment then. Or
So
every
we would love to
episode.
come in and help businesses one-on-one and draft up ideas for you. Please contact us at eo7media.com, and we will be around again next week. Guys, have a great week, and I'll see you later.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Happy 4th of July.
Yay, party.
I can't keep this all to myself. I got all you need, and I'm sharing the